Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and today we are going to celebrate the career of one Iain Valliere, a Canadian bodybuilder. We're going to look at the evolution of this guy, beginning at the start of his career, leading up into this version here that you see from the 2022 Mr. Olympia event, where he took 11th. He competed at this event, 4 times, so he's had a pretty interesting, a pretty good career. And by the end of this one, I think we will all appreciate the efforts of one Iain Valliere that much more. But you guys can thank yourselves for this one, part of your fan requested Friday lineup. And I seen a lot of other outlets that were doing comparisons between Iain Valliere. So I actually took the time, you know me and my competitive nature. I took the time to not outdo those other channels or Instagram pages, but, give you guys an extra glimpse on more versions of this man. Now, we're going to begin with the front double bicep pose. We don't have all of the versions in this shot, as you probably had guessed. This is 2011. Now, watch this. From 2011, boom, to 2015. Now, that is Iain Valliere putting on some mass in a couple of years. By 2020, he had pretty much perfected his physique, and by 2021, this is what you see. Like I said, 2020, he pretty much hit his peak. Here's 2022 at the Vancouver, but it's tilted a little bit dousely. So hard to tell, really, but this is the front double bicep pose, guys. The evolution of Iain Valliere. So I guess that's how we're going to do this one. But I believe that the other poses will be more interesting because we have more of the shots. This is him, like I said, back in 2011. Now, from 2011, now watch the lags here. 2015, he put on a lot of beef. Camera angles are tilted dousely, I understand. Now, what do we got next? 2018. This is the first we're seeing of this version. Love that version. His Olympia debut. Let's morph into 2020. New York Pro. Good version here. Not as conditioned as at the Olympia. There's 2020 Olympia. And it was a good version. He took 7th. Then we go on to 2021. Now here's the Tampa. And this is what I call his prime. I know I said 2020 New York Pro peak, but that was a mistake. I shouldn't have said that, because at the Tampa, you see his lag separation there, his wheels, and then here's the Texas. Both of those versions, maybe his best. Both winning versions, of course. Now, he competed back-to-back here, like within the week, and then the following couple of weeks, I believe 2 weeks after, it was this version here at the Arnold Classic, and he seemed to have lost a little bit of separation in those wheels. Looks big and good. And I believe that year at the Olympia, it was too many times in a row. That was his 4th time competing in a row. And you could see he looked way better, guys. He looked much better at the Texas and in the Tampa. But as we did move on to 2022, his Vancouver showing, and I know the camera is tilted a little bit dousely, but this looks like his prime. He looks pretty darn conditioned. That lag is a little off, though. You can see his left leg, his left quad. And come Olympia time, I mean, the picture footage, it is what it is, guys. Not the best, but you can surely tell that one of his quads is way down in size, with all due respect. So I guess we'll put the Tampa version and his 2011 version. This is the evolution of Iain Valliere in the front lat spread. In my opinion, his best pose. Of course, his side chest, not that bad either. In 2011, I wonder why he decided to sit down. Those wheels needed some size for sure. Wow. 2015, this is Iain Valliere. From 2011 to 2015, my soul. And here's that 2018 version again. Look at the conditioning here. Much more polish. Like this version. Now the New York Pro, I gotta say, he looked good in that front lat spread, but a little flat here. Little flat, lacked separation. By the Olympia time, it was the same as the New York, but more condition. So, yeah, I think he refined himself. And here's that 2021 Tampa. Awesome. On to the Texas. Maybe his 2 best. Actually, the Arnold, he actually has more separation here in the wheels, which was not the case from the front shots. But anyway, on to the 2021 Olympia. Seemed to be sapped a little bit of his upper body power. He brought the condition, you can see that. On to the next year, Vancouver Pro, and I still say this is one of his best versions, one of his latest, one of his greatest, size, condition, and it seems come Olympia time, once again, I don't know. I like maybe his 2020 Olympia for all of the Olympia versions the best. But here's the evolution of the side chest. We're going to go ahead with the Vancouver Pro and that 2011 version. I'm sorry, Iain. I'm sorry. But wow, did he put on the lag size? Go to the side tricep. We'll just run through this one pretty quick. 2011 here. Small legs. I mean, bigger than a normal person's, but compared to boom, 2015, yeah, they were small. He's going over he switched arms, you notice that. 2018, I still say, one of my favorite versions. 2020, New York. Now watch this. Boom, onto the Olympia. See how much more conditioned he was? Now the Tampa, I like that version, but it's maybe not the best from the side. Texas, same thing. I think he lacked the tricep meat. Onto the Arnold, basically same thing. I kind of preferred his maybe 2018 to tell you the truth. Onto the Olympia that year, like I said, he was a little worn out. And here is the Vancouver. And ultimately, the Olympia. And you know what? His Olympia version, not that bad. So we'll go ahead and use that version for the evolution. And we're going to stick with the 2015 version because he was hitting it with his other arm. Maybe you may have noticed in 2011. So yeah, maybe his best shot if he had more tricep meat. Because I have to say, in this pose, Iain, his midsection, his wheels, everything looks pretty darn good. And that leads us, of course, to the back shots. Maybe the most interesting in this 2011. You notice he's not the widest, but he has some decent lat insertions there. Go down pretty low. Now let's evolve on to 2015. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pretty good. 2018, you notice a slight deterioration of maybe the left lat. Maybe not. 2020, Nick Strength and Power said he had soggy glutes here. You guys remember that? But onto the Olympia, and you can see those glutes were not soggy here. Like I said before, the Olympia was a more conditioned version of the New York. 2021, like I said, maybe his peak prime, I don't know. Here's the Texas. I think I was more impressed with his back earlier on in his career. Could be. Here's the Arnold. Actually, his lower lats look thicker here at the Arnold. Come Olympia 2021, you can see some lat deterioration once again. But you know what? 2022, Vancouver Pro, I know it's tilted loosely, but it looked like to me that his lat insertions were the best they've ever been. This looks like the best Iain Valliere lat spread of all time. So there was no real slow deterioration to this, what he brought to the 2022. And I know this is somewhat taken out of context because he wasn't opened up properly, baby please. But hey, I guess that rests on his shoulders if he wasn't practiced up enough to hit the shot. He brought the condition, guys. But we're definitely going to use the Vancouver Pro to display the evolution. And yes, sir, he did have some decent lat insertions right from the beginning. I don't know who had him squatting down, even in the back shots. I'm sure it was somebody in his ear. Could have been Greg Doucette telling him to do that. Go to the rear double. Don't want to ruffle his feathers. Good condition right from the get-go. 2011, nice lat insertions. I don't know why he's squatting. Go to 2015, and this is basically the type of condition that we've known from Iain Valliere. 2018, take a look at this, guys. Lat insertions, condition, impressive. And yes, 2020, Nick was right. In comparison, his glutes were soggy. 2020 Olympia, that was the New York, this is the Olympia. Olympia's pretty good. Probably along the same lines condition of 2018. And I'm less impressed with the Tampa than I was in other shots. The front lat spread. Texas, actually a little bit drier at the Texas. Lighting's different too, though. And Arnold, pretty good. Seems fuller at the Arnold out of the three. Of course, from week to week, your physique's going to change, right? And by Olympia time, I noticed a couple little divots in his back, in his lower back here, that I never noticed before. But anyway, 2022, like I said, from the rear lat spread, it was seemingly an improvement of his back development, but I guess false hopes, because come Olympia time, I mean, this is what he brought. And those divots are even more apparent. I don't know what that is, guys. Maybe some of you guys could tell me. But still, not bad, not bad. Obviously, the wheels have evolved greatly. His condition has evolved greatly. I mean, he's still beating his former self, guys, even with the slight deterioration of those lats. Now on to the final pose, the most muscular. And this is a little lackluster, guys. We don't have all of the shots from all of the years. And he's not hitting the pose the same way. This is 2011, morphed into 2015. Now, the wheel size from those few years was unbelievable. 2018, hey, I still say one of my favorite versions, those triceps. Those triceps are huge. New York, 2020, worked on his abs, I think. 2020, I like that. He's just more conditioned. His skin is thinner from the New York. Next year, 2021, the wheels are the best here from the front at the Texas and in the Tampa. Here is the Arnold. Lacked separation in the front of the wheels. By Olympia 2021, they were still somewhat symmetrical, but he had more cuts in one of his wheels. And by 2022, he wasn't even showing his legs in those front shots anymore. 2022 Olympia. And this is it, guys. This is his final showing. But you know what? He's Canadian. He is tough. He will bounce back. And I hope that he does bring his best showing here in 2023. This year. But that's the evolution of the most muscular. I do definitely say from the front, his wheels were much more symmetrical. Still not 100% symmetrical. But, I mean, look at any bodybuilder. Look at any bodybuilder if you're focused on that. I mean, Blessing Awodibu, they say one of his quads are 3 inches shorter than the other. But it is what it is, guys. And he has done what any bodybuilder can do to be a successful one. He put on mass, he improved his condition, and he has a much nicer haircut. I mean, I don't know was he trying to grow a mohawk back then? But that's pretty foolish to focus on that. Condition, size, you gotta respect Iain Valliere. Never once brought a bubble gut. He always brings the condition. Gotta respect the man. Big Canadian buck, Iain Valliere. And this is the evolution of him. Hit thumbs up on the video, guys. It took a little while. It took some doing, but hey, it is what it is. It is in the can now. Subscribe to the channel. Love you guys. Have a great one.